Second game jam. This one is for the global game jam. The theme is masks, or mask, singular. But I ended up partnering with someone, and we took our two ideas and combined them together, because I originally was going to do this on my own, and then I was starting to get overwhelmed and was like, you know what, let's reach out, let's see if anyone's willing to team. And the idea I originally had was to show what it's like to live with depression or chronic illness or something like that. Surprise, surprise. But showing off like spoon theory, fork theory, that kind of thing eventually if I were to take it further. So we took the idea of someone getting depressed and making it harder to make the right decisions and everything, and combined it with someone being a stagehand, helping with a performance and costume changes. And so it's about grabbing the right costumes or mask to hand to the correct actor or to the actor. There's still some things we're trying to smooth out at the moment, like how many people. But you are playing the stagehand. And the performance that they're doing is The Mask of Red Death by Edgar Allen Poe, which is one of my favorites. So I spent some time last night chopping it up into bits that'll work with the dialogue system that we're using to show off that happening. And so I made editor choices to add larger breaks. So instead of it just being a comma, it might be a whole line break, or a semicolon, whole line break kind of thing. So I spent time doing that last night. Then I started getting some basic scripts put together, scenes put together. I figured out how to do some point and click type stuff for moving the player. But I want to mess with it a little bit more, because right now it's a little too slidey, and I think I want it to work a little bit differently. So I'm definitely pushing myself in a direction that I didn't think I'd be pushing myself in when it comes to the programming, which is to say that I am doing a point and click of any kind, because those aren't necessarily games I enjoy when I think about it. Like, if you ask me, do I enjoy point and click, I'd say no. But if I thought about it a little bit harder, I do enjoy some point and click, usually strategy or puzzle game style. This kinda isn't either. So again, I'm making something that I, on its face, wouldn't think I would enjoy. So it's going to be very interesting seeing how to make it something I would enjoy, from a basis of something that I'm not immediately going to be like, yeah, I play those, you know? So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun to do. We're on day 2. I've continued to set up some other things, and I will check back in either tonight or tomorrow. Reporting on day 2. Overall went really well. At one point I felt really despondent and like I didn't know what I was doing and all these things, and then I got a second wind in the later half of the day, started getting things done again. So I managed to get the mouse and camera working. I added an inventory system that's working. And I got the first night set up with some of the basic elements for it to start working. So the dialogue's popping up, you can move the character, you can open and close your inventory. Now it's just a matter of putting in inputs, having different characters saying different things, that kind of thing. Because it looks like it's going to be more of a chorus style. We'll see. Rather than a single narrator, it'll be a group of people narrating, is the current thought. Oh, it really is shaping up to look really cool. I just hope I can program it to the standard that the art is already at. So, yeah. It's the next day. Starting on day 3. The game is going well, I think. I made some progress with the inventory system. I made progress with the dialogue system, though I'm still thinking that might need to change in order to be able to look at the inventory in the full screen, so we'll see. I am tired. And I don't think it has anything to do with the game. But I am struggling to stay focused. So that is an interesting thing to notice during this game jam. Because I do have to deal with my own depression and stuff. And I felt really empowered and emboldened at the beginning of this game jam. Really inspired. But I don't know if it's the topic I chose or that we chose or what, but it feels like it's taking its toll. It also feels like I'm in over my head. And the art is really good. It's really good. But I feel like I can't match it with the programming and everything else. So that's frustrating. It's frustrating. Yeah. I'm still getting ideas, I'm still implementing them, but at the end of the day, I feel like I am not. I have 2 more days after today. So I have a total of 3 days to finish. And I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot still up in the air, but at the same time, it feels so straightforward. But I'm going to do my best. And we will see where we're at tomorrow. A lot of struggle with the inventory system. Still struggling with the inventory system. So much so that I broke the original inventory system. So now I need to go fix it and then re-implement this new version of it to where you can drag and drop the things from the different inventories. Everything else is shaping up just fine. But the whole gameplay centers around being able to have this inventory working. I said to my mom yesterday when we were talking that if I wasn't partnered with someone, I probably would have stopped by now. Because I feel so defeated so frequently during this project. But I don't want to let down the person I partnered with. By just saying, hey, I can't do it, you know? That doesn't feel fair to them. And they're doing an amazing job with the artwork. I went ahead and I read out The Mask of Red Death by Edgar Allen Poe. And we're going to implement that into it rather than a dialogue system. because I think that's going to work a little better. We'll see. I might have to play with the recordings I did to shorten or lengthen, but the inventory system takes priority before I implement the audio. Because if I can't get that audio going, then, or if I can't get the inventory system working, then there's no game. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm still struggling with the inventory system. It is the second to last day of being able to work on this. And I feel like Sisyphus. I'm getting further up the hill each time, but it keeps going right back down. After I get that past that little bit further, it goes all the way back down. I don't know. Because a lot of this depends on having this inventory system working exactly how it needs to work. There's no good enough with the inventory system from what I can currently see. And I was supposed to go do things later tonight. That's not going to happen because I need all the time I can get working on this. So, yeah. I'm going to get on it. I've procrastinated long enough because of my despondence. I need to head to the grindstone, get it done. I will check in tomorrow. So it's the last day to do everything. And I might seem chipper, but I've only slept for 5.5 hours. And I'm using a different game engine now, because I couldn't get it to work in the original one. Yay. Hooray. But it's working, so yay, hooray. And that is only because many moons ago, thing for Unity called Adventure Creator. And that allows for you to make point and click games pretty easily, even if you don't know how to code anything. So yeah, I'm able to take everything that we'd already created and pretty much port it over with no problem. Some of the reason I have no problem is because I do have a better understanding of how code works now. But Adventure Creator is also made for people who are beginners and don't know coding. So it is a visual scripting language built into Unity. But you still have to have some basic understanding of how game engines work, I think. At least that's what it feels like. Like, if I didn't already know Godot and I was thrown into this, I would be like, oh, it's never happening. So I've pretty much, within a span of, let's see, I didn't get a chance to get started because everything was struggling to download. until maybe 11 midnight. Let's say I started at 11 last night, being able to start putting things into the game engine. It might have been midnight. But let's say 11. I went to bed at maybe 2:30. 3.5 hours. I managed to get to the same point and technically slightly beyond, because there's a working inventory system. Then it took me all week in Godot because I didn't want to use other people's plugins over there, because I didn't want to spend the time to learn, when that is the point in a game jam, is to get something done. Learn, but get something done. Not beat your head against a brick wall the whole time. I know I'm a stubborn person. I guess didn't realize how stubborn I can be. And it turns out I can be pretty darn stubborn. So, fingers crossed that by 5 p.m. tonight, I have the game uploaded with an hour to spare. Because I don't want to be trying to hit that publish button with time crunch like that. So far everything's really good. I don't know if we're going to be able to have the full depression feeling coming through. Right now my main focus is to just get through the first 2 nights. Or I guess the first night, make it work for the first night. Because if I can make it work for the first night, I can make it work for all the nights. So yeah, that is the goal. I will see you guys afterwards, in the aftermath. So, I submitted for my second game jam. It's called Red Death, because it is based off of Edgar Allen Poe's The Mask of Red Death. I think it is the most disappointing thing I've ever put together. The person I partnered with is willing to continue development on it with me. I guess to at least see it to a closer completion state of what it could be. But if so, I would want to really, from the ground up, rethink everything about it. But it's done. It's submitted. And that's what matters. I spent a week learning that I am stubborn and need to take a step back sometimes. So I will show you guys a bit of gameplay, and then that'll be it. Thank you so much. I hope you had or have a great day and that you get to or got to eat something delicious. Bye.